Hi, today we're going to spend just a few minutes talking about your topic for your dissertation and how to get started with that topic. Solomon, the wisest man who ever lived, told us that careful planning can put us ahead in the long run, but hurry-scurry can put us further behind. So it's very important that at the outset of your dissertation, you take time for careful planning. Consider your topic. Think about, is your time, your valuable time, going to be well invested in this topic? Is it going to hold your interest for the long haul through your dissertation? And then look at your topic and ask yourself, is this topic important enough to invest my time in? Does your proposed topic investigate a problem of practice? Does it contribute to the field of knowledge? Consider all of the research that you've read about your topic, and just take a few minutes and think about that trajectory beyond your dissertation work. We've talked about that before. Imagine how your research on this topic could impact your school or your school district, or maybe help your organization or your community. Looking at your topic, ask yourself, does my study propose to investigate how to solve a problem? And will it really create an impact in my field? As you read research on your proposed topic, get into those databases, and you might want to conduct what we call a Boolean search. If you want to look at two topics, you want to use "and" in your search. And you will only pull up the articles that includes both of those words. If you use the word "or" in your database search, then you will pull up all of the studies that have either word in that study. And if you do a Boolean search and you use the word "not," for example, I want to investigate elementary schools, but not Title I, then you will only pull up those studies or those articles that talk about elementary school but do not mention Title I. So a Boolean search is just a way of combining search terms. And in looking at your Boolean search, you will pull up only the most relevant articles. As you read the literature about your topic, it will help you to clarify what it is that you really want to know. Reading all of those studies will also help you know what's already been done on the topic, and it will also help you narrow down your topic to a specific area that you want to study. When you are reviewing the research for your dissertation, remember to stick to primary sources. If I'm reading an article by Jones and he cites another researcher, we'll say Kabloofenblofem, about your topic, I don't want to take Jones's word about Kuffenblofem's research. I need to go back to the original study written by Kuffenblofem, and I need to read that study to get the details. That's going back to the primary source. If I just take Jones's review of a different study, what if Jones misinterpreted the results? Or what if he said something incorrect about the findings? I would have a problem. And that's why when you're writing your dissertation, you want to be sure to always go back to that original source and use primary sources only. As you're reviewing studies for your dissertation, you want to be sure that you are sticking to current studies. Most universities will say that studies that have been collected in at least the last 5 to 7 years are okay to cite in your dissertation. Now, that doesn't mean that you want to limit your reading. We want you to be well versed in the history of your subject as well. You should know the origins of your topic and previous research that was done just for your own knowledge and some background information. However, when it comes to what you're going to write in your dissertation and studies that you are going to cite, you're going to need to stick to those current studies that have been conducted in the last 5 to 7 years. I have another video where I discuss how to critically read an article or a study, and that video is designed to help you know what you should cover about a previously conducted study as you are writing in your dissertation. But for now, let's just kind of hit some of the high points about critically reviewing another study. Look at maybe the purpose statement to start. That's going to give you a good idea of what the overall purpose of that study was and what the researchers were trying to learn about. And then look at their sample and ask, is the sample in that study representative of the population that they were studying? Look at the variables. Did they study the correct variables in that study? Were any other variables that might affect the study controlled for? Watch out for those confounding variables. Now, in the social sciences, it's hard to control for all of the variables, but if they can't be controlled, at least they should be discussed, maybe in the limitations section of the study. Often as researchers, we're very passionate about whatever topic it is that we're studying. And so as you read a study, you want to look and see if the researchers set aside any bias towards the topic. Were there any preconceived ideas about the data that they were collecting? As you analyze a previously conducted study, look carefully at the results section and make sure that the results are clearly related to the research that was conducted. We don't want to throw any other findings in that are just kind of our personal ideas. We want to rely on what the data said about the topic. So looking at conclusions or findings or results, be sure that all of those are coming from what the data said. We want our conclusions to be clearly justified by the results of the study. The planning stage can be difficult for dissertation students. I once saw the planning of a dissertation compared to Christian's journey in Paul Bunyan's novel Pilgrim's Progress. So you might feel like you are lost in the bay of literature, or maybe you're struggling to climb Mount Where Are We Going? Or maybe you're climbing the peaks of confusion. But I want to encourage you. You can complete your dissertation. You can write a beautiful, well-done study. Getting it all in order and planning can be difficult, but it is well worth it. It will make your dissertation journey later on go a lot more smoothly. So if you feel like you are lost in that bay of literature, or you're struggling to climb that mountain of literature that's set before you, find someone who will discuss the research with you. Discuss with your chair. Discuss with another study buddy that might be in your cohort in your dissertation course. But sometimes just talking about that literature, talking about your study, helps you kind of plan it out in your mind and helps you see that there is an end in sight. So if you're in that valley of discouragement and you need an encouraging word, call up your chair or a study buddy and talk about how you are planning your dissertation. You can do this. So set your mind to be a completer. Proverbs 16:3 tells us to commit our ways to the Lord, and He will establish our plans. Our confidence is not in what we can accomplish. Our confidence is in the wisdom of our Lord. And I pray that you will ask Him to guide you as you develop your research plan. He can do great things. If you have questions along the way of your dissertation journey, be sure to reach out. Don't feel incompetent or like you can't do this. You've never written a dissertation before. You're not supposed to know how to do it all on your own. So don't be timid or afraid to reach out. Ask others how they got through the process. Ask others for guidance as you plan your dissertation. Remember, you're learning along the journey.